Welcome to the Irish Scoop, your weekly dish on all things Notre Dame football. Welcome to the Irish Scoop. I'm your host, Jordan Clark. My Notre Dame experience so far has been amazing. The people, the atmospheres, even school, which is insane because I don't like school at all. And the person that's going to be on the show with me today epitomizes what Notre Dame is. He's been here since the beginning of his career. He's been through the ups and downs of the program, coaching changes, ultimately has ended up as a leader through it all. So joining us on the show today is our tight end, Kevin Baumann. Welcome to the Irish Scoop. I'm your host, Jordan Clark, joined today by our tight end, elder statesman, huge part of our team, true Notre Dame man, Kevin Baumann. Kevo, appreciate you joining us today,
thanks for having me, dude. This is just getting started, and this has been incredible so far. Yeah, I love being here.
Yeah, man. We tried like a billion flavors of ice cream a second ago.
It's dangerous.
It's
so
been
dangerous.
Awesome. Shout out Murphy's. So, Kevo, you're from New Jersey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Being on the team, I didn't really know much about Jersey at first, but some of the personalities, the guys that we have from there, from Coach Golden, Don, you, Steve, Howie, Jersey culture is something different. Jersey swag is something different.
It is.
Talk about growing up there, bro, and what that experience was like.
I mean, I really can't imagine like being raised anywhere else. I think it truly is a part of who I am. You know, my parents obviously are so blessed. They gave me and my siblings a great life growing up, but like you said, I think we have a different way of carrying ourselves. We kind of have a little swag to us. It's kind of hard to explain, but like you said, if you don't know, like you'll learn pretty quick. You know, you hear Jersey all the time and stuff, you know, in the locker room. But I like to say we just kind of have everything. We got a good location. We got party in the summer with the beach, but you know, we got New York City right there, so it's business too. You know, we get stuff done in Jersey, but I really can't imagine living anywhere else. I mean, it's such a big part of who I am. My whole family, you know, lives there, so I love it. Yeah, it's great. Great place.
What's up, bro? I mean, hearing you talk over the summer, you know, we all did our senior talks.
Yeah.
I remember you talking about your dad. You know what I'm saying? Talking about how your dad's your hero. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Telling everybody. Talk about what he has meant to you, you know what I'm saying, and growing up not only as a football player, but as a man, you know, kind of the impact that he's had on your life.
Right. And I think that's just so much, like me saying he's my hero just is a testament to who he is as a man. I mean, you know, he works hard. He's always provided for myself, my brother, my sister, my mom. But the thing that, you know, I talked about a lot in that talk was he's real, right? You know, you see a lot of people will, you know, maybe tell you what you want to hear. And maybe that's not always best for you, but he's always been someone who, you know, I don't want to say he never pushed me. He always pushed me, wanted me to be great and all these things, but, you know, he wasn't over the top with that. He said, like, from, you know, the time I can remember, like, this is your life, right? Like, I don't want you to be playing football. I don't want you to do this, right? Like, I wanted you to do what you want to do. And so that's something that's always stuck with me, and I hope that I carry on, you know, one day later in my life. But, like, he's real. Like, I can go to him, I can talk to him about whatever, and I know that he might tell me something I don't want to hear, and it happens all the time, really, and I'm sure he'll see this and say that, but he keeps it straight with me, and so that's important. That's something that I hold close to my heart, is he'll, you know, tell me what I need in that moment, which is good, you know.
No, I think that's so cool, bro. Like, a piece, like, with my dad, at least, that I really appreciated, something that you were saying, is that it was never a thing where I felt pushed to do anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he allowed Jordan to be Jordan. He didn't make his thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's awesome, yeah.
100%. And I feel like that, especially in moving into ball, it allows you to love it even more, you know, because you're not being pushed to do something. Right. You're actually developing a genuine love for it.
Right.
I feel like now, bro, like, you see, like, the kids that are growing up, like, how different sports are, bro.
It's
like,
crazy.
You got 6-year-olds doing, like, specialized training and, like, YouTube, like the baby Gronk dude.
Bro, it's unreal.
It's crazy.
And I just don't see how that's, like, sustainable. Are you going to burn out before you have a chance to really do anything, I feel like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we had that growing up, too. There were always the kids who were, hey, like, yeah, specialized trainers. Like,
Yeah.
I'm 6 years. I'm only gonna play one sport. Like, I mean, did you grow up playing
Yeah, I played everything.
everything? Right.
Yeah, I played
the
everything,
same way.
bro.
Yeah, everything through high school and everything. I mean,
100%.
that was always something that was important, and I can't imagine being like in high school saying, "No, I'm not gonna play basketball or whatever." Like,
Yeah, nah.
no, I loved it. It makes you well rounded. I think it's important. Yeah,
You hooped in high school, Kevo.
I did.
You did?
I did.
Were you like that? Were you nice?
I had a unique style, but yeah, I was nice. Yeah,
Describe
I
your
was,
style.
not a shooter. I didn't
Shooter.
shoot. I didn't shoot, but double kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know, you can count on that. No, I loved hooping. That was really my first love as a sport too. So, like I said, it was a unique style, more ground and pound type of deal. You know, playing the post, top of the key. You know, take it to the rim. That was my kind of deal.
Tight.
But yeah, that's how I played it.
Talking about your high school experience, you went to Red Bank High School? Red Bank High School.
Yeah.
Same high school as Quentin Nelson, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about that experience playing ball there.
Yeah.
And then ultimately playing high school ball in Jersey, because it's a super competitive scene out there as well.
Yeah.
So kind of talk about your high school football experience.
No, I had a great experience. Like you said, same high school as Q, so he was I talked to him a bunch when I was making the decision to come here and everything.
Yeah.
But
how much older than you is he?
oh,
He was like out way before you.
yeah, it's got to be 6 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, football was a big part of school there. We had a great community, big support, a lot of support. But no, Jersey football is legit, and shout out to like Steve and those guys who played up in North Jersey. They kind of get like all the recognition, but the short conference, they could play some ball there, and Coach Lang and the guys there are doing a great job now with kind of keeping our program going. But it was fun, dude. There's nothing like Friday Night Lights, right? I mean, that was just something special.
Yeah.
You're in school that day. You're wearing your jersey to school, right? Carrying around your gallon of water, stuff like that.
Playing with your best friends.
Play with your best friends. I think that's something special, and it's something that I'll hold close to my heart forever. Like, still some of my best friends were on that team, and won a state championship in Jersey, which was sweet. We actually played against CeeLou, who was here. Clarence. So, yeah, that was cool. But that was awesome. I got to play with my brother too for a year or 2 years. So that was incredible. Yeah, good experience.
Do you feel like, I know for me, the way that my high school program was ran, it wasn't necessarily like super structured. So when I got to college, like the jump was like insane to me. I felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like meetings and all of that stuff was just way more than I was used to. Did you feel the same way? Were you like Bo, where Bo, like he said that at Bosco, they had meetings and they had live, so the day felt kind of similar? Was the jump from high school to college like a big difference?
I would say I probably sit in between there a little. Like we had meetings, we had lift, but you can't compare it to this, right?
Facts,
you're talking maybe a 15-minute meeting before you head out to the field or whatever, and a lift once or twice a week.
Yeah.
But it was structured, I'd say, but I don't think anything can prepare you like fully to come out here and do what you need to do.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine being here straight out of high school.
Yeah.
Like our schedule from the 7:30s, then you gotta go to class. It's in-person class, super difficult class schedule, and then for like the freshmen, it's straight to practice, or we have another meeting, then we go to practice, and they have to go to study table. Like that's rigorous to put on like a young guy.
17, 18-year-old kid coming out of high school. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, bro. What was that like? I can't imagine how exhausted and how difficult that would have been.
It was an adjustment. I had a little different experience just like in the 2020 year with COVID and everything, but no, it's an adjustment. I mean, it definitely was tough at times. I mean, I remember calling my mom and dad saying, hey, you have those moments of I'm not sure if this is for me, right? Being up in the morning, this 6:45 lift in February here, it's minus 10 out. Then you're sitting in class all day. You're going back for practice. It's a lot, but I think this place does a great job of just helping you transition. I mean, we have a great, we got Sarge and them who sometimes are a pain in the ass, but like they really do a good job of helping you and helping you make that transition. We have great resources and whatever. But I definitely remember my freshman year coming in here, and I had a tough time at times. Like school's tough. You're getting your ass kicked in school. You're getting your ass kicked in practice. It's like, am I ever gonna get a chance to breathe or like do something, right?
It's
Like
a constant battle,
right?
Yeah,
And it's kind of in those times. It's almost more. I don't want to say negative times, but more like you're down, you're in the trenches a little, than more than you're up in those times. But I think once you kind of get through that transitional period, it makes you a better man, a better football player, and I think it's an important part of your development just as a human. And I look back at those times now and think, man, like, yeah, it sucked when I was in it, but look at look where we are now.
Yeah,
like, graduated from this place. Like it all works itself out. And I think it's important though. Hey, make sure like you got people in your corner, your family, your boys. I think it's important to keep those close to you, and they'll help you through this time.
But talk about your recruiting process. You know what I'm saying? Coming from Red Bank, ultimately you were a huge recruit, 4-star guy. Making the decision on where you wanted to go to school. Ultimately, why Notre Dame?
It's crazy. I never. It's not like you hear some of these stories where, hey, I always knew I wanted to come here, right? Like, obviously I'm, a Catholic guy, Catholic family. Like, we always cheered for Notre Dame, stuff like that. But it was never, hey, like, I'm going to Notre Dame. I went into the recruitment process not knowing much. Like, hey, I want to just see what I can from everywhere. But so I took my first ever visit here my sophomore year in sophomore year of high school, right after they offered me. And I remember leaving here and I was like, Dad, like, I can't picture myself anywhere else in the country. I've been to other places on visits and stuff, some big schools, but you step foot on this campus. I'm sure you'd have the same story as a transfer, but you step here, you drive in off 80 and you see the dome, bro. Like,
it's different.
I remember like getting chills in my car driving here. It's weird, like you just know almost, and it's almost hard to describe, but to people who don't get it, right? Like, we're here, we can kind of understand that, but
you gotta get on campus to feel it.
And like the offer obviously was huge and stuff, and I was like, I was excited, but you step here and it's like you just feel that it's home, and that's what it has been for the past 5 years now. So it's I just knew, and I think I'd make that decision again and again. So this place is special, more than just football too. Yeah.
Now you say that more than just football. For me, I think one of the things that makes this place so special is the culture.
Yeah.
And being a guy who was here with BK, I believe. Yeah, you were here with BK, and then being here with Free now. Kind of just talk about the culture in the locker room and how even with the coaching changes and stuff,
right,
how the guys are, how the Brotherhood is, like FTB is a real thing.
Yeah. Like,
just kind of speak to that and how it's always been for you.
I'd say I've been through, like you said, my fair share of coaching changes, head coaches, coordinators, position coaches. But the one thing about this place is it's a player-built and player-sustained culture. It doesn't matter who's in charge, who the head coach is, who the OC is, the DC, tight end coach, DB coach. Like, the guys in that room, the guys in this team, the guys in this locker room are what sustain this place. And I think, like I said, it doesn't matter who's kind of running things, Free, Kelly, it's the guys here, and I think Coach Free would agree with that, right? Like, we have a standard here, and it's something that just rolls through from class to class. Like, guys get it really quickly, and I know you almost like you've been here for 4 or 5 years, right? Like, I don't look at you and think, oh, like, I've only known you for a few months. Like, you've been here. Like, that's how I see it. Like, like, we've been in this for years together. That's just how I see it, and I think that's just a testament to this place and the kind of person it attracts, the kind of football player it attracts. Like, it's special. I feel like at a lot of other places, maybe the culture switches with coaches, right? But here, I think for as long as this place is around, you're going to get the same type of culture for, no matter who's in charge. I think it's special.
100%. We're going to do a quick thing.
Yeah.
Lightning round.
All right.
I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions.
All right.
You got to answer them as fast as you can.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Favorite pregame meal?
Buttered pasta, chicken.
Favorite pregame song?
Oh, it's been Skrilla.
Skrilla?
Kodak. Yeah.
Favorite Notre Dame memory?
Oh, memory. Graduation last year.
Pancake block or a tub?
I gotta go tub.
What is the most Jersey thing, whether it be a food,
Pork, egg, and
music?
cheese.
What?
Pork roll, egg, and cheese.
You're going to have to tell me more about what that is later on.
All right.
Your funniest teammate of all time.
I'll give it to Cooper Flanagan.
Favorite place on campus.
Grotto.
Favorite player growing up.
Gronk.
Which current teammate would you least let to borrow your car?
I don't know. Least like to borrow my car?
Yes.
Donnie Heinisch.
Donnie?
Yeah.
And
Donnie.
what's your favorite ice cream?
Zanzibar chocolate. Shout out Murphy's.
Shout out Murphy's. We also heard that another one of your favorites is Alphagato.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
So
Yes.
the good people at Murphy's are going to bring that out for us.
Let's go.
This is something different.
Be prepared to have your mind blown.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, you guys enjoy.
What's the process?
All right, so have you ever had this?
I've never had this before.
So this is shout out to my Italian roots. So you got some just vanilla ice cream,
Okay.
and I believe we got a double shot of espresso. So all you do is you're just gonna pour it over.
All right.
Might get a little messy. I know Sean had some issues. And then we'll just give it a try, I guess.
All right, cool. This is dope, man. Shout out to Irish.
It's cool. It's different.
I'm gonna try new things. That's fire.
You like it?
That's actually
It's good.
fire. Nah.
This is my first time having it here.
You just put me on something.
Oh, man.
bro. You just put me on something. I feel like a real Jersey boy, real Italian boy right now. Nah, it's fire.
It's good. It's great. Oh,
Holy crap. So,
that's fire.
you get to Notre Dame
Yep.
and you have some injuries.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You had to battle through some stuff and
Yep.
kind of just talk about that experience. And then earlier you hinted at how much a support system, you know what I'm saying, and having those people around you help. Kind of just talk about what that experience was like for you, and then ultimately how your support system helped you kind of get through those things.
Yeah, like you said, I think I've had a pretty unique couple years here. 3 major surgeries within like 2 calendar years. I broke my leg sophomore year. Came back from that, was feeling great. Was probably playing some of the best football I've been playing. Going into my junior year, a few games in ACL, and I'm thinking, man, like this can't be happening. Like, just came back from an injury. I'm feeling great, playing great ball. And you go through that whole process again. Like, hey, these things happen. Whatever, I'm gonna come back. And then it happens again. The first week I came back, my senior year in camp, did the same ACL again. And at that point, it was it's like world shattering.
Yeah.
At that point, it ended up being 2 ACL surgeries within 9 months, which was I couldn't even fathom it at that point. I didn't know if I'd ever step foot on a football field again. And just I knew what that process was like coming back from the first one. And I spent a lot of time in prayer, a lot of time in conversation with my family and close friends, and ultimately I decided, like, hey, I'm not done yet. I'm gonna bet on myself. I'm gonna come back here and get a master's degree. I'm gonna do this rehab process again, right? And like you said, none of it at all would have been possible. The first one, the second surgery, the third one would be possible without the support system that I had, and that's a testament to my family. And because quite literally, I don't know if I'd be here right now, sitting here right now, if it weren't for them. I mean, you talk about like some dark days. They were there. At the end of the day, I mean, I'm sitting here with you right now,
Yeah.
man. Like, like that'll always be a part of me these past few years. But I know, I trust that God's got a plan for me, and I believe that if I trust in that, great things are gonna happen. And so I'm here, man. I'm happy that it's made me who I am today, the man I am today, the player I am today. But I wanted to take a chance on myself and prove to myself and others that I could still do this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, bro, I honestly had no idea that any of that had happened,
Yeah.
Until like fairly recently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because you come in the building, bro, every day with an energy that's like contagious. Like
appreciate
every
it,
time
yeah.
I see you, bro, you're smiling, you're joking around with
Yeah.
somebody, like just happy to be in the
Mhm.
building. How, bro, after going through all of that, you know what I'm saying? For
Yeah.
many people that would have broke them, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I can speak for myself, like, bro, that would have been incredibly tough to get
Yeah.
through. And like you said, it was for you. How do you remain so positive, bro? How do you remain so, really just awesome in the building, even having gone through all of those things.
Well, first, that means a lot to me, dude. Thank you.
Course,
That means
bro.
a lot because at times, I walk in there and I don't feel that way. I don't at all feel that way. And the thing I notice is when I walk in that building, I'm surrounded with guys like you, like the guys in my tight end room. It's love. Like, that's what I feel. And if it weren't for you guys and like the teammates that I've been with, some of my closest friends, my family, like it wouldn't have, I don't think it would have been possible. Because like you said, it did break me at times. There were, a lot of phone calls with my parents, a lot of tears, like things like that. A lot of just asking myself questions if this is something I even want to do. And at the end of the day, it was, I can't give up these kind of relationships.
Yeah.
Like you said, we're blessed to play this game right at the highest level, and ultimately that's been my motivation. Like to take the field with you guys, bro. A few weeks ago, Purdue was the first time I stepped foot on a college field in 2 years.
Yeah.
Almost
Tough game too.
Yeah, like just almost cried. Just the first snap I played was on field goal right after the first touchdown, and that alone, dude, I like chills thinking about it now. Chills stepping on that field. I mean, that all. So in that moment, kind of made it was worth it. Feeling that again, made it all worth it. I mean, and then you talk about scoring my first college touchdown after 2 years. It's I mean, in moments like that, I just thank God. I can't even imagine. If you would ask me a year ago, would that happen? Hell no.
Yeah.
But I stayed true to His plan, and like I said, that moment alone was something I'll never forget ever. And that moment right there of all the hard work, that was 3 years of hard work into one moment, and that was special. Yeah.
Bro, that's so amazing to hear you talk about, bro. And like, just from me, like from a teammate, like, bro, we couldn't have been like any more
appreciate it,
geeked.
dude.
Like,
Yeah, thank you.
you being a guy that, especially that was our first passing touchdown, I think, too.
Yeah.
At that point, bro, like you being the guy to kind of set it all off, and for you to get in the end zone that game, like, it was amazing to see and to like just be a part of as your teammate.
I
bro.
appreciate it, dude. Thank you. And that was the best part, was coming off the field and then being surrounded by you guys. That was the best part by far. And like I said, that's something that will stick with me forever, bro. Like forever.
So
it's
sick,
crazy.
bro.
Yeah.
So sick. Like you said, we're talking about how you got here while Free was a coordinator, I believe, or before he was a coordinator. Before he was a coordinator. So you saw Free get here,
Yeah.
and then ultimately become a head coach.
Yeah.
What has that kind of been like? How was he as a coordinator, and then how was he as a head coach? How was getting to play for him?
It's funny seeing like him as a coordinator, especially D coordinator versus head coach. Like I remember get into now fights, but like he, obviously didn't like the offense very much, right? Especially when you're talking like fall camp, spring ball.
Yeah.
He loved starting shit with the tight ends as a D coordinator, and then it's funny to see kind of that transition as a head coach, where now I gotta love these guys now, right? So that was just funny to see. I know he used to always get after us as a D coordinator and talk a little shit like he does, right? And then you see him as a head coach, and he's more. He's got to be involved with both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also cool to see how he's grown. Don't know how much of an offensive mind he was at first, and now can talk about the offense, at will, which I think is pretty cool. To kind of see a coach kind of go through that learning phase of going from defense to now got to tackle all three phases. So it's cool to see that as a player, to see a coach kind of learn as well while you're learning. I think that's just pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he's done a great job with that.
Yeah, we talked about his at the beginning of the episode. I don't know if we were rolling yet. Kind of, we were just sitting here.
Yeah.
We talked about why everybody received him so well whenever he became the head coach, just because of how genuine and authentic he is. I remember before I even got here, seeing the video of him walking in the game locker room. Yeah. Whenever he had got announced the head coach, and just seeing how everybody received him.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like the hire that everybody wanted, like that everybody on the team wanted. Like y'all were all so happy for him. What does his genuineness and his authenticity, what does that say about him as a man, and how that helped you guys kind of receive him as the new head coach when that hire was made?
I think it just makes it easy to play for a guy like that. Like I mean, he talks about family, he talks about his own family and these examples that he gives. It makes it, easy to play for a guy who, genuinely cares about you, right? Doesn't just care about you as a football player, but cares about you as a person. And I think his genuineness is kind of what's shaped his, his style of leadership here, where guys are fully bought in because of the fact that they know, he's got your best interest in mind. And I think that's important when any guy on the roster can go up to his office and he'll welcome them in. Yeah. I think that's important, and that's something that's rare, right? That's something you don't see everywhere. So when he as a head coach at Notre Dame, by the way, not just some school, right? Yeah. Like he's like a celebrity. We were talking about it before. Like he's like guy. A celebrity. It's crazy. But when any guy on the team can go and have a conversation with him, and he knows, your background, where you're from, where you went to school, asks how your parents are doing, that's special. So I think just his personability is what makes him easy to play for. And like I said, kind of seeing that transition of him as a DC to head coach has been cool. Yeah.
A big thing we talk about in the building all the time, bro, is like the idea of embracing your role. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, whatever it is that you can do to ensure that we're successful on Saturdays, like it's your obligation to do that. And I think that we found success recently because I think guys have bought into that idea. Yeah. To have gone through the things that you've gone through, you know what I'm saying, injuries and coaching changes and things like that, very often like roles can be uncertain. Yeah. So how have you, always kind of stayed ready, even when you're not healthy and you can't play, kind of just embrace your role and do the best that you can to help the team in any way that you can.
Yeah, I think that's important, especially, and that's something that I've grown a lot. I've grown a lot in that aspect in the past few years. Like I said, when you make that decision to come back after whatever is the first, second, or third surgery, like, you're not thinking, hey, I'm going to come back and I'm coming back to, not play, right? Like I'm thinking, hey, I'm going to come back, I'm going to put in all this work, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to play, I'm going to start, I'm going to be the guy, right? And although that's like your motivation, right, coming back, and that's ultimately what you're working towards, like there's an important aspect to realize, like you said, in owning your role, right? And I kind of know where I'm at right now with my body and things like that, and my knee and stuff, but like I said, it goes back to being unselfish and playing for truly the guy next to you. Like, whether I am the guy starting right now or I'm not, or, when my name's called, like I'm going to be ready. Like, that's just the type of guy I am. But I think, and Denbrock talked about this past week, like owning your role is important. And as you're a younger guy, you might say, well, how am I important? I'm running scout team, right? As you get older and you see how this game truly works, right? And I know you would agree with this, like every role does matter.
So much
right?
value in everything. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're a scout team, D lineman, quarterback, corner, whatever, like your role truly is important. And without you giving a good look, like you want the receivers in practice 100%. To give a good look. You want the RBs to give a good look. That's important, right? Because that leads to success on Saturday. And that's something that I've really learned these past few years, that kind of no matter what my role is now, hey, number one, I'm blessed to be on this field, first of all. Like, any day I could step foot on this field at Notre Dame and play football, like, I'm blessed and I'm thankful for that. And two, just understanding, hey, my role is important, no matter what it may be, wing on a field goal, whatever it might be. That role is important, and that leads to success on Saturday, and that leads to, what we talk about, team glory. I think that's important.
Yeah. Went through obviously a bunch of adversity, what I'm saying? We talked about it the entire episode, all the adversity that you're going through. What is your advice to people going through similar things, or, everybody has trouble in their life, right. Their own adversity. What is your advice on how to handle that, and what are some ways that kind of helps you get through it?
I'd say the first thing I'd say is ask for help, like reach out. Like, the past few years, I definitely should have taken that advice, right? Like, you think you can kind of do everything on your own. You don't need anybody. Hey, I'm good on my own, but ask for help. And I think we hear a lot about mental health these days, right? And we're kind of reducing that stigma around it. But I think when it comes to injury in sport, talk a lot about how do you prevent injuries, how do you heal from an injury, but you don't talk about the athlete when they're going through an injury, right? And so I'd say ask for help, right? Whether it's your family, your friends, your close friends. That's going back to the support system. I think that's so important. Like, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for my support system. But I think having ears to just listen, you know, like whether they're going to give you advice or not is irrelevant. Just being able to kind of speak about kind of the things you're going through is important. So my advice would be ask for help if you need it. You know, don't be, you know, you're not going to be viewed as weak, you know, and if you are, then that's not a person you want to surround yourself with, right? So ask for help and, you know, don't be scared to ask for help. I think that's important, dude. Like, you know, so many people are afraid of what someone's going to think if I ask them or tell them what I'm going through. You know, and if that's the case, then I just don't think that's a good person, right? So ask for help and make sure you surround yourself with the kind of people who can help you, right?
Yeah, bro. It's like, it's so difficult to do that sometimes, bro. Obviously, just because
hard,
of the
dude.
like the stigma, like
It's hard,
the stigma around it or whatever, bro. But that is like such an important piece, bro. Like, even for me, like coming out here, like when I first got here, bro, like it was so different, bro. And my dad and I always have had a relationship where I felt like I could talk to him. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, I don't ever. I think a piece of why I don't reach out sometimes because I don't want people to worry about me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's huge.
Like, it's not.
That's real too.
Yeah, bro. I don't know.
And I'm happy you said that because that's real. I know parents worry, right? Like, you don't want to have to call your mom or dad, however far away they are, and tell them you're going through something. Yeah, that's real, dude.
Yeah, bro. I feel like I was like adding stress to like to them as well, you know. So I don't know.
No, that's real. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, bro. I mean, let's lighten up a little bit though. Get back to some fun stuff. What's your favorite Notre Dame football memory, bro, that you've had here so far?
I gotta say we've had some crazy wins here, especially at home. You look at Clemson my freshman year was just a crazy game given all the circumstances, beating the #1 team in the country. You look at Clemson a few years ago. Again, I remember sitting up in the box with Jack Swarbrick after a surgery, and shout out Bo Bauer too. He was with me up there, and that was crazy. Like, I remember I was on my 21st birthday too, so that probably sticks out a little bit. Like, seeing a game like that and just experience something like that was cool.
That's what's up. All right, bro. We're going to do a segment. It's called The Four Horsemen.
All right.
I'm going to give you 4 tight ends.
Okay.
And you got to rank them.
Oh, man. Okay. All
right. Cole Kmet, Michael Mayer, Tyler Eifert, and Kyle Rudolph, 1 through 4.
All right. I gotta go Mike number 1.
Okay.
I gotta go Mike number 1.
You got to justify the list at the end, too. So.
Okay. All right. So I'll give you the list and I'll justify it.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go Mike, Ty, Cole, and Kyle.
Okay.
That's tough. I mean, that's not fair.
Tough.
That's not. Yeah, that's tough. I'll put Mike number 1. That's my dog. It's my best friend. Watching him, playing with him here for 3 years was amazing. And watching the great things he's doing in the league is great. So I'm gonna put him number 1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Ty number 2. Actually, just he was out here before the show. He was sitting there eating lunch. So I said what's up to him.
Yeah.
But guy I'm really close with, his younger brother's my best friend Griff. So I got to put Ty number 2. What I said Cole number 3, just because I guess closer in age with him.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's a tough list. And then Kyle number 4. I met him a few times. He's a great dude. He's given us a lot of advice as tight ends here.
Yeah.
But no, that's a tough list, and all 4 of those guys are, you know, guys I look up to, and you know want to play like, you know, look to model my game after. But they're really just all 1 A B C D. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you really can't rank them like that. But all great dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, and really good football players too. Incredible.
Speaks for themselves. Incredible football players, and then again, like, great Notre Dame dudes. Like, all guys you want to be around, guys you want in your foxhole. Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough segment.
Yeah, for sure. Senior night's coming up, bro.
Yeah.
Senior night's coming up. You know, it's going to be a culmination of all your hard work, you know what I'm saying, in the classroom, on the field, all the things that you've been through. Can you even imagine what that moment's going to be like?
No, and it's crazy, like, being here, going through senior night as an underclassman, right? Like, you're like, it's never going to be me. Like, you know, I'm not, you know.
Yeah,
it's
so far
crazy,
down the line.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really can't even imagine what that's going to be like, and have my family out there. yeah, no, you like look forward to it in a way, but also at the same time, you're like, nah, you don't want that to kind of come, right? But yeah, it's time flies, especially here. It kind of goes by in the blink of an eye. Crazy. It's crazy.
Facts, bro. I mean, and I ask everybody this at the end of every episode, but I think that it's so important to ask you this just because of what you've meant to the school and the program. What do you want your legacy to be here? Like when people talk about Kev Bauman, you know, in the future, what do you want the things that they remember to be and the things that they say?
Well, first, I above all, I hope I'm remembered as a man of God and a guy who is a good teammate to all. Right? Like I truly feel like I have a relationship with kind of everyone in the locker room. But I want to be remembered as a guy who was tough, physical, played the game the right way, was a good tight end, but was a teammate, and like I said, kind of did things the right way and embodied hopefully what this place means. This place is special, and at the end of my time here, hopefully I'll be blessed to say I got 2 degrees from this place, which is something I'm proud to say. But I hope people remember me in just a guy they could count on, depend on the field and off the field, as a good football player, but then a better teammate, hopefully. Yeah.
Nah, bro, I can truly say that's exactly how I remember you, bro. I was saying at the beginning of the episode, I was doing the one up earlier, like you epitomize what this place is about. You epitomize what makes this place special. Yeah. This is Irish Scoop. I'm your host, Jordan Clark, joined today by the one, the only Kev Bauman. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.